Namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Blooming Lotus Healing Channel. My name is Jikara, and I'm a spiritual healing facilitator. And today I am coming in on day 19 of the 30-day challenge. Oh my gosh. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Let me know in the comments after this. It's been 19 days of us meditating together, of us showing up and doing what we can to give ourselves permission to connect with our inner being. And we've been connecting with the book Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth. How are you feeling? How is this nourishing you? Let me know in the comments. So today we're going to be doing 6 minutes of silence during our meditation, and I'll of course walk you into the meditation, into the silence, and then from there we will go into out of the silence after the 6 minutes, and then we'll go into the readings. The readings are going to be sun sign readings for career. So today we're going to be focusing on career. Today is Wednesday, which is the day of Mercury. So happy Mercury Day. And today it's all about communication and technology, also trade. And of course, when we're thinking about our career, we're kind of trading our time for income, right? So that's the reason why I'm doing the readings for career today. So to kind of harness that energy. And so I want to invite you to make sure that you get yourself comfortable on your seat. If you're not already where you're going to be meditating, I want to invite you to really start looking for a place for you to sit. I don't recommend that you lie back, because we want to make sure that we stay active, we stay present, and sometimes we can fall asleep when we're lying back. So I highly recommend that you sit on the chair or sit on the floor as you get ready for the meditation. And to give you some time to get ready for the meditation, maybe grab your water, grab your coffee, your tea, whatever it is that you're drinking this morning. I'm going to go ahead and open the circle and ask Spirit to support the circle as we open the sacred container together. So at this moment, I want to invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze if you're comfortable doing this. And as we open the sacred container, we ask Spirit for support. We ask Archangel Michael to come forth and protect this circle. Thank you, Spirit, for your support, for your love. We thank the ancestors of the land for letting us be here, for letting us be present in this space, for letting us use energetic assets in our location to support ourselves. Thank you for your support, dear ancestors. Honoring the land and honoring our ancestors of the land, honoring our ancestors, the ancestors of our family tree, the well ancestors, honoring you as we come through this journey of healing and this journey of self reflection and self knowledge. We ask you to support us, dear well ancestors, so that we can find our way out of any knots or programs or energies that don't serve the highest good of our path, releasing any energies that don't serve us. And we ask for that support. Calling in guardian angels, thank you. Calling in spirit guides, thank you. Calling in higher self. Spirit, I ask you to please raise the conscious awareness and subconscious awareness to the highest expression possible for each one of us. Spirit, open our hearts and help us connect to our essence, to our truth, to our being. We ask you to please help us align with our soul, align with our truth, align with the truth of the universe. Thank you, Spirit, for giving us the opportunity to be here now in this moment, in this presence of our being, of ourselves, and with each other. Calling in the support of Archangel Raphael to support with any healing if there's any needed to be applied, and Archangel Metatron to connect with our wisdom, to connect to our Akashic Records if needed. Thank you, Spirit. As we open this book, Spirit, I ask you to please guide us to the right space, the right page that we need to listen to today, so that we can continue our journey of self-reflection and self-discovery. Thank you, Spirit. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Spirit, show me what is the message that we need to be connecting to with today. So this is the book of Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. And I am on page 295 if you want to follow, if you have the book. And I'm looking at the 3 modalities of awakened doing. There are 3 ways in which consciousness can flow into what you do and thus through you into this world. 3 modalities in which you can align your life with the creative power of the universe. Modality means the underlying energy frequency that flows into what you do and connects your actions with the awakened consciousness that is emerging into this world. What you do will be dysfunctional and of the ego unless it arises out of these 3 modalities. They may change during the course of a day, although one of them may be dominant during a certain stage in your life. Each modality is appropriate to certain situations. The modalities of awakened doing are acceptance, enjoyment, and enthusiasm. Each one of them represent a certain vibrational frequency of consciousness. You need to be vigilant to make sure that one of them operates whenever you are engaged in doing anything, if at all, from the most simple task to the most complex. If you're not in the state of either acceptance, enjoyment, or enthusiasm, look closely and you will find that you are creating suffering for yourself and others. Acceptance. Whatever you cannot enjoy doing, you can at least accept that it is what you have to do. Acceptance means, for now, this is what is the situation. This moment requires me to do, so I do it willingly. We already spoke at length about the importance of inner acceptance of what happens. And acceptance of what you have to do is just another aspect of it. For example, you probably won't be able to enjoy changing the flat tire on your car at night in the middle of nowhere and in pouring rain, let alone be enthusiastic about it, but you can bring acceptance to it. Performing an action in a state of acceptance means you are at peace while you do it. That peace is a subtle energy vibration, which then flows into what you do. On the surface, acceptance looks like a passive state, but in reality, it is active and creative because it brings something entirely new into this world. That peace, that subtle energy vibration, is consciousness, and one of the ways in which it enters the world is through surrendered action, and one aspect of which is acceptance. Enjoyment. The peace that comes with the surrendered action turns to sense of aliveness when you actually enjoy what you are doing. Enjoyment is the second modality of awakened doing. On the new earth, enjoyment will replace wanting as the motivating power behind people's actions. Wanting arises from the ego's delusion that you are a separate fragment that is disconnected from the power that lies behind all creation. Although through enjoyment, you link into that universal creative power itself. When you make the present moment instead of past and future the focal point of your life, your ability to enjoy what you do and with the quality of life increases dramatically. Joy is the dynamic aspect of being. When the creative power of the universe becomes conscious of itself, it manifests joy. You don't have to wait for something meaningful to come into your life so that you can finally enjoy what you do. There's more meaning and joy than you will ever need. The wanting to start living syndrome is one of the most common delusions of the unconscious state. Expansion and positive change on the outer level is much more likely to come into your life if you can enjoy what you're doing already. When you say, I enjoy doing this or that, it is really a misperception. It makes it appear that the joy comes from what you do, but that is not the case. Joy does not come from what you do. It flows into what you do and thus into the world from deep within you. The misperception that joy comes from what you do is normal. And it is also dangerous because it creates the belief that joy is something that you can derive from something else, such as an activity or thing. When you look at the world to bring your joy, happiness, when you look at the world to bring joy, happiness, but it cannot do that. This is why many people live in constant frustration. The world is not giving them what they think they need. Then, what is the relationship between something that you do at a state of joy? You will enjoy any activity in which you are fully present, any activity that is not just the means to an end. It is an action you perform that you really enjoy, with a deep sense of aliveness that flows into it. That aliveness is one of who you are. This means that when you enjoy doing something, you really experience the joy of being in its dynamic aspect. That's why anything you enjoy doing connects you with the power of behind all creation. Here's a spiritual practice that will bring empowerment and creative expansion into your life. Make a list of numbers. Make a list of a number of everyday routine activities that you perform frequently. Include activities that you may consider uninteresting or boring, tedious, irritating, or stressful, but don't include anything that you hate or detest doing. That's a case either for acceptance or for stopping what you do. The list may include traveling to and from work, buying groceries, doing laundry, or anything that you find tedious or stressful in your daily work. Then, whenever you are engaged in those activities, let them be a vehicle for alertness. Be absolutely present in what you do in the sense of alert, alive, stillness within you and the background of the activity. You will soon find that you do what you do in the state of heightened awareness instead of being stressful, tedious, or irritating is actually becoming enjoyable. To be more precise, what you are enjoying is not really the outward action, but the inner dimension of consciousness that flows into the action. This is finding the joy of being in what you are doing. If you feel your life lacks significance or is too stressful or tedious, it is because you haven't brought that dimension into your life yet. Being conscious in what you do has not yet become your main aim. The next thing is enthusiasm. This is the third vehicle. Then there is another way of creative manifestation that may come to those who remain true to their inner purpose of awakening. Suddenly, one day, you know that their outer purpose is. They have a great vision, a goal, and uh, from then on, they work towards implementing that goal. Their goal or vision is usually connected in some way to something that is smaller scale from what they're doing and enjoying doing every day. This is where the third modality of awakened doing arises enthusiasm. Enthusiasm means that there's deep enjoyment in what you do, plus the added element of the goal um, or vision that you work towards. When you add a goal to the enjoyment of what you do, the energy field of vibrational frequency changes. A certain degree of what we might call structural tension is now added to enjoyment, and so it turns into enthusiasm. At the height of creative activity fueled by enthusiasm, there will be enormous intensity and energy behind what you do. You will feel like an arrow that is moving towards the target and enjoying the journey. To an onlooker, it may appear that you are under stress, but the intensity of enthusiasm has nothing to do with stress. When you want to arrive at your goal more than you want to be doing what you're doing, you become stressed. To balance between enjoyment and structural tension is lost. Okay, to balance between enjoyment and structural tension is lost, and the latter has won. When there's stress, it is usually a sign that the ego has returned, and you're cutting yourself off from the creative power of the universe. Instead, there is only the force of strain of egoic wanting, and so you have to struggle to work hard to make it. Stress always diminishes both the quality and effectiveness of what you do under its influence. There's also a strong link between stress and negative emotions, such as anxiety and anger. It is toxic to the body and now becoming recognized as one of the main causes of so called um, degenerative diseases, such as cancer and heart disease. Unlike stress, enthusiasm has a high energy frequency and it resonates with the creative power of the universe. This is why Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Nothing great has ever been achieved without enthusiasm." The word enthusiasm comes from the Greek theos, meaning God, and the related word enthusiasm means to be possessed by God. With enthusiasm, you will find that you don't have to do it all by yourself. In fact, there is nothing of significance that you can do by yourself. Sustained enthusiasm brings into existence a wave of creative energy, and all you have to do then is ride the wave. So this is what I have. I'm not gonna continue reading because it's a lot. But if you want to continue reading, just know that I started on page 295, and we were talking about the 3 modalities of awakened doing, which are going to be acceptance, enjoyment, and enthusiasm. Acceptance, enjoyment, and enthusiasm. Those are the 3 things that we want to practice as we continue. So I want to invite you to get yourself comfortable. We're going to start the meditation now. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Nicole. Hi. So happy that y'all are here. Okay. So we're going to start the meditation. Okay. And I want to invite you to get yourself comfortable on your seat. Make sure that your spine is straight. If you're sitting on the floor, make sure that you're comfortable, that you have enough cushions and you're comfortable. I want to invite you to, or encourage you not to move your body, so that you can be in that place of connection with your body and ground yourself. And so at this moment, I want to invite you to also remember that we're going to be connecting to acceptance, awareness, and equanimity. Acceptance, awareness, and equanimity. That's what we're going to be connecting to today, okay? So think about those words as you connect to yourself today, as you ground. All right, so hopefully you are ready now to meditate. I want to invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. And we're going to take this moment just to bring awareness into where we are existing in our physical body. And I want to invite you to do a quick scan from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet. And just take a moment just to notice where you're at. Notice if there's any tension or any pain or any pressure that you feel. And you're just going to take a mental note. You're not going to try to change anything. We're just going to accept what's happening and just become the observer. I just want to invite you to take this moment to give yourself permission to relax your body, relax your shoulders, relax your belly, relax your eyes, unclench your jaw. Relax your tongue. And I want to invite you just to take this moment to understand that you are in full awareness of what's happening. So if there's any noise that you hear, whether it is coming from your own space or even this space, I want to invite you to not let this take you away from the process of connecting with yourself. You just become aware of the sensations that are being activated and just go back to your breath. Go back to your body. We're going to start anchoring ourselves into our breath by noticing the sensation of our breath as it goes in and out of your nostrils. Just connect with your breath, noticing the sensations, noticing the subtle sensations going upward towards your nostrils, noticing the change of temperature as you inhale and exhale. And at this moment, I want to invite you to do a quick breathing exercise to bring more relaxation to your body and to release any remaining tension, whether it is physical or mental or emotional. just setting that intention to release. I want to invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose at the count of 3. And you're going to take that deep breath all the way in through your nose and hold it in for a few seconds. And then you're going to release all the way out through your mouth and hold it for a few seconds. So the count of 3, I want to invite you to take that deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Take that deep breath in through your nose. All the way in, all the way in. Hold it for a few seconds. 1, 2, 3. And release your mouth all the way out. Release and hold it. 1, 2, 3. I want to invite you to take another deep breath in through your nose. All the way in. And hold it. 1, 2, 3. And release your mouth all the way out. And hold it. 1, 2, 3. And take a deep breath in through your nose. All the way in. Hold it in. 1, 2, 3. And release your mouth all the way out. 1, 2, 3. And take a deep breath one more time. All the way in and hold it. 1, 2, 3. And release your mouth all the way out. 1, 2, 3. And go back to breathing normally. If you hear any noise coming from my end, just allow yourself to acknowledge and just go back to your breath. Just notice your breath. I want to invite you to take this moment to focus your awareness down towards the bottom of your feet or the bottom of your spine if you're sitting on the floor. And we're going to take conscious breaths towards our root chakra to connect to earth, connect to our bodies and ground even deeper. And at this moment, I want to challenge you to not move your body if you can till the end of the meditation. If you feel like you need to move your body, just give yourself permission to do so with ease and softly. Do not make any sudden movements. And I want to invite you to focus your awareness on your breath and allow that breath to travel down towards the bottom of your feet and towards the bottom of your spine. As you breathe in, you allow your energy, your essence to activate your root chakra. Recognizing that you are safe and you are grounded. Connecting deeper and feeling deeper into your body. I want to invite you to visualize as you send your breath down towards your root that your root starts to expand down, going from the bottom of your spine down towards your legs and down towards the bottom of your feet. There's a root system that starts to grow and grow deep into the ground, activating your Earth Star chakra. Continuing to deepen your connection with Mother Earth, you find your root system down at the center of this earth. You wrap your root system around this beautiful crystal of your choice. This beautiful crystal appears, and you wrap your root system around it. Allow yourself to receive the essence of that crystal towards your roots, as well as to receive the color of that crystal to infuse into your root chakra. Trust that the crystal and color that shows up for you is the right crystal and color for you. Now, with every breath you take, I want to invite you to bring in that beautiful light that you're receiving from Mother Earth and allow it to come upward towards the bottom of your feet and upward towards your root chakra, towards the bottom of your spine, and allow this light, this color, to infuse into your entire body, touching each one of your energy centers, each one of your chakras, activating your connection with Mother Earth even deeper. You notice that this beautiful light starts to expand into your auric field as you start to emanate the beautiful energy of Mother Earth. You are an ambassador of Mother Earth. Allow that energy to expand into your energy field and out into your entire room. I want to invite you to take this moment to allow yourself to connect with your heart chakra. You're going to notice at the center of your chest and see if there's any sensations at this time. Notice if there's any pressure or tension in that area of your energy center. Notice if it feels expansive or if it feels contracted at this time. We're going to access our being through our heart. Our being, our higher self, our higher awareness. I want to invite you to breathe into your heart space the beautiful energy of Mother Earth as well as your own breath. And notice at this time how there's this beautiful portal of unconditional love that starts to pour out of your heart. Archangel Raphael places a gentle touch on your heart space, supporting the opening of your heart and infusing it with this beautiful emerald green light. Allow your heart to open. Connecting to your heart allows you to connect deeper with your being. As you allow this beautiful light, emerald green light, to infuse into your heart space, this emerald green light starts to expand throughout your body, cleansing every single cell of your body. Cleansing your mental body and your emotional body. Notice where you are in the spectrum of your emotions, in the spectrum of your thoughts, and allow this beautiful green light to wash over all of your bodies, allowing yourself to be harmonized into the essence of unconditional love. Now, I want to invite you to connect with your crown as you call in your higher self, calling in your inner wisdom. You notice this beautiful flower opening up. And as it opens up, it calls in the divine connection with God, with Spirit, with the universe. As you allow this divine connection, you give yourself permission to receive a golden, white, and soft pink light that travels from the depths of heaven down into your crown, slowly moving in a spiral-like manner, clockwise, slowly going down towards your third eye, anchoring your third eye with your higher self and your soul, continuing to go down towards your throat, anchoring your throat to your higher self and your soul, continuing down towards your heart, anchoring your heart into your higher self and your soul, continuing to go down towards your solar plexus, anchoring your solar plexus towards your higher self and your soul, continuing down towards your sacral, anchoring your sacral towards your higher self and your soul. Finally, going down towards your roots, supporting your roots and anchoring it into your higher self and your soul. Now this beautiful energy travels quickly down towards the bottom of your feet, anchoring itself to your Earth Star chakra as you serve as a bridge between Earth and God. Connecting to your inner light, you now see yourself glowing, fully glowing, becoming the light, engulfed in the light. And you're surrounded by all your guardian angels and all the light beings that are supporting you. Visualize them all supporting you and infusing you with light energy. Let yourself receive the beautiful essence of unconditional love and let yourself raise your level of consciousness to the highest level of consciousness available for you. Now, I want to invite you, as you sit here, being infused with this energy, to go back to your body. We're going to connect with our body as we receive this beautiful support from light energy. I want to invite you to notice the sensation of your breath as it goes in and out of your nostrils as you receive this healing support. Notice the sensation of your breath. As we enter this practice of Anapana, remember that you get to practice acceptance, awareness, and equanimity. If you find yourself traveling out of your body or thinking other thoughts or feeling disconnected, you will go back to your breath to support you with staying grounded. Simply acknowledge the distraction, observe it, and gently go back to your breath without getting frustrated or judging yourself. You're here to observe. I want to invite you to focus your awareness on the sensations of your breath right at the top of your lip, in between your lip and your nose and your nostrils. If you need to become aware of those sensations and you can't feel anything, you can take a couple of harder breaths through your nose to support the activation of sensations in that area. Allow yourself to feel the sensations, and when you feel ready, start scanning from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet, and from the bottom of your feet all the way up to the top of your head. Simply scan piece by piece every single part of your body. If you feel overwhelmed or feel distracted, you can go back to Anapana. The practice of Anapana is simply the practice of awareness of your breath. Vipassana is the practice of awareness of the entire body, sensations in the entire body. You can practice going back and forth between Anapana and Vipassana as many times as you need. There is no right or wrong. As you continue on the journey of scanning your body, simply become aware, accept, and simply practice equanimity. Know that everything is changing at every moment. So allow yourself to release any expectations of how your meditation should go. All meditations are different depending on the day. We're now going to enter a 6 minute of silence. Remember to focus on your breath if you feel that you need additional support, and if you're ready to scan throughout your body, feeling all sensations. All sensations count, whether they are intense or subtle. All sensations matter. I challenge you not to move your body for these 6 minutes. 6 minutes start now. Remember, practice awareness, acceptance, and equanimity. Acceptance, awareness, and equanimity. Acceptance, awareness, and equanimity. The 6 minutes are up. I want to invite you to start coming back into your body. Start moving your fingers and toes. Give yourself a nice big hug for showing up for yourself today. This is not an easy path, but it's so rewarding. Welcome back. Come back as easy and kindly as you can. All right. So welcome back, everyone. How did it feel for you? How did this meditation feel? Welcome, Gracie. So happy you're here. Yeah, so that felt very nourishing, and I hope that is nourishing you. These minutes of silence. And I know it's not easy, right, to do to start, but we started first with 1 minute, and then we increased it to 3 minutes, and then to 5 minutes, and now we are here, 6 minutes of silence. Think about how easy eventually it'll get to where you can be in silence for an hour, and it'll feel like it was only 10 minutes. So good job. And let me know in the comments, are you able to sit in the meditation for a little longer now, or you still feeling like you need to move the body? And the reason why we encourage that, or at least it was encouraged in Vipassana, is because that's how you really can become more aware of the sensations of your body, of the subtle sensations. Is really incredible. And everyone has a different experience, but one thing I could say is, like, that was the first time, by sitting in meditation just without moving, was the first time that I was able to recognize for the first time, right, that yeah, it was like I said, it was like I was just so shocked at how real energy is, and how it just shows up in the body, and how we're just like walking batteries basically, which is so amazing to me. So anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with the readings. And today we're going to be focusing on career. So we're going to be doing sun sign readings for career. So career and work, we're going to be focusing on that today. Get some messages from spirit and that. I want to invite you to share and like this video if you feel like this is helping you, as well as subscribe to this channel. If this is your first time, welcome to the fam. Happy to have you here. And also, if you ever want to work with me one-on-one, for any support, especially with if you want to do like a reading, a one-on-one reading, or if you want to support with clearing energies, you can go over to the bloominglotushealing.com. I also offer classes as well. Something that I've been forgetting to mention is that I run a mediumship circle as well every month, and we're gonna start upping the amount of times that we meet. We were meeting once a month, and we're gonna try to meet twice a month for the mediumship circles as well. So a psychic development opportunities as well are present, and the best way that you can find out about this stuff is just by signing up for my email list, because that's where I send all that information. It's kind of hard to keep up with posting everywhere. So if you want to find out what I have going next, then you definitely want to sign up for my email list. And you can do so by going to my website, thebloominglotushealing.com, and just find out more about me there as well. So let me see. I see some comments here. Nicole, I was able to sit a little longer this time, a little movement in the beginning. And that's good. That's fine, Nicole. That's normal. And so don't feel like it has to be perfect every time. Sometimes you just need to move the body a little bit more, and that's okay. Every meditation is going to be different, like I always mention here. Say hello to Peanut, everyone. Hey, Peanut. He's my little baby, and he wants to be here with me all the time, but I can't do it. I can't do readings and hold you, baby. I think I'm gonna have to get like a wrap to carry him around. Go to your place, baby. Go to your place. Okay, so we're going to be doing readings for career. And of course, these are general readings. If it doesn't resonate for you, it may potentially be for you. It's just coming from the subconscious, or if you resonate with a different reading from another sun sign, that's perfectly fine as well. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to take this moment just to connect and ask Spirit to, as we open the sacred container of readings, Spirit, we are setting the intention to receive messages for all sun signs, each one of the sun signs, starting with Aries, Spirit. We would like to receive messages that are related to their career. How can we guide them and support them in the conversation that they're having with the universe in regards to their career and how they show up in their career? Thank you, Spirit. So we're going to start with Aries in regards to their career. For Aries. Well, that one just fell out. Okay. All right, there we go. Thank you, Spirit. I'm going to try to do more cards for each sign this time. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. For Aries, Aries. If your sun sign is Aries, this reading is for you. This is specifically to your career. So you've been in this place of feeling this need of satisfaction, or maybe even feeling fulfilled at certain aspects of your career. You are in this journey of moving towards success, or wanting this success, right, in your career. And that's where you've been. That's kind of like where your mind is, right? Like you want your wishes to come true. You want to feel satisfied. You want to feel like that you're recognizing, that you feel recognized, that you feel pleasure doing what you're doing, right? Which is, that's not a bad thing to do. However, one thing that I want to share with you here is that we have the card. Oh, first of all, it's the Nine of Cups, the first card that I'm seeing here, that I'm reading from, and then I have the Page of Cups upside down and the Moon, and this is your current situation, right side up, and the Three of Swords upside down. So spirit is speaking to you in regards to your current situation. So it seems to me like you have certain aspects of yourself that are still subconsciously holding you back when it comes down to your career. Certain aspects of yourself that feel like you can't reach what you, it's almost like, oh, this is an illusion, like I'm never going to get where I want to go, right? And part of the reason why is because you may have still some unhealed aspects of yourself that you need to address. When I see the Moon card in tarot, that tells me that there's something there that's complex that needs to be unraveled. And that is also pairing up with a card of Bad Trip from the Spirit of Psilocybin deck. So that tells me that there's still some healing, some unraveling that needs to happen in regards to your relationship, to your career, and how you view your career, and how you view yourself in the sense of how you show up in the world and how you want to show up in the world. Part of the reason why you've been having a hard time lately with your career is because there is a certain amount of emotional vulnerability that opens up whenever you think about your career, right? There could potentially be certain insecurities, or maybe there could be a sense of wanting to distract yourself and do something else than what you're supposed to do, because you feel like if you get to that point of doing what you're supposed to do, you may feel like you're kind of like, what's the point of doing this? Like, I feel like that's what's the point of doing this? Like, sort of like, this is like unattainable. This is an illusion. Like, that's sort of like the essence that I'm feeling for this specific year. So this is heading towards, right? What this is heading towards, this feeling, all of this experience of feeling like there's the illusion that you still have to unravel. You feel uncomfortable. You feel like these emotional aspects of your relationship with your career is just like, it's just yucky, right? But this is actually moving you towards healing, right? Towards recovering, towards reconciling your relationship with your career, reconciling what you're meant to be doing. You have to go through this messiness right now so that you can get to the point where you're finally in this place of, okay, acceptance of where you are now, and moving into the actions, the aligned actions that would support you with your career moving forward. You may have had certain situations where you felt so hurt by the experiences of the work that you've done in the past, or you have felt like maybe you have lost certain either important projects, or a lost an opportunity, or maybe even lost yourself, right? You may have, there's like this essence of loss that is part of this journey that you've been in, and but you're moving towards healing all of that. And this is where you want to kind of focus on right now, is to focus on what parts of you are still sensitive or vulnerable, or feel like you're not opening yourself up and your heart up fully to what really is lying behind the scenes, right? Like, what are the insecurities that are still there? And we want to make sure that we nurture those parts of us, right? Just nurture that part of you that is still feeling like you cannot face. Like, it's almost like this part of you that you don't want to face, right? And so I'm not saying that you have to do all of it now, but what I want to invite you to do is to kind of say, okay, maybe I can start taking little steps towards facing these insecurities, these fears, these parts of my past experiences that are still kind of sore, and so that I can move into healing and reconciling my relationship with how I'm meant to be showing up as a trade on my everyday trade, and feel fulfilled. Okay, so that is what I have for you, dear beautiful my beautiful Aries. And so there's a little bit of work here that you got to do, but nothing that you can't do. Nothing that you can't do, dear Aries. Okay. All right. So I'm actually going to do a little differently this time. Spirit guided me to draw all of the cards and not keep cards out. So I'm going to do that right now. So it's going to take me a little longer as I shuffle. So give me a sec, everyone. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for this message. Okay, so in regards to, we got Aries, now we're going to go to Taurus. So Taurus, we got Taurus here. In regards to career, what messages do we have for Taurus? Thank you, Spirit. Dear Taurus, we have the Five of Cups upside down for you, the Ten of Wands upside down, the Ten of Cups right side up, and the Hermit upside down. And we have the Curandera card that's connected to the Ten of Wands as well as the Hermit. Okay, so in regards to your career, So it seems to me that you are coming from a place of, or you are approaching your career from a place of looking at the positives. You have this sense of contentment when it comes down to your career. You're kind of like at peace and acceptance of what is what you have right now. And that brings me to where you are specifically right now in regards to your career. You want to make sure that you are able to move into giving yourself permission to let go of any aspects of yourself that want to control every single aspect of your work. There's this sense of responsibility that you carry on your shoulders, okay? That tends to be that comes in and out, and it creates sort of like a burnout for you. So you want to make sure that you let go of these parts of you that want to control every single aspect of the daily tasks. You want to release that burden and find freedom in knowing that you can count on other people to support you. However, with the hermit upside down, that tells me that you have been dealing with sort of like this part of you that wants to step away from looking for support when it comes down, or delegating when it comes down to daily tasks. So you want to make sure that you take this moment to start recognizing what part of you do you need to heal, which is the curandera card. What part of you do you need to heal at this time that is activate that keeps this energy of isolation active for you? Why do you have to feel like you have to do everything by yourself, right? And really give yourself permission to start looking within at the fact that you're really meant to be in a place of community. So when I see the 10 of cups, really my perception here is that you're meant to feel secured and stable when it comes down towards that. You're moving towards success. You're moving towards a very stable place. However, you're putting all of that burden of that success on your shoulders. You sort of like accepted that. It's like, oh, well, this is, I guess I'm just going to have to do everything by myself. Like, you can potentially, like, I want to invite you to really see what parts of it, because this is not sustainable. What I see here is someone who will eventually burn out if, even though you get to the point where you get to the goals that you're setting for yourself, you will burn out. So I want to invite you to really look at where in your being you have a part of you that feels like that it has to do that you have to do everything by yourself. A lot of times this has to do with certain trauma, sometimes even childhood trauma. Sometimes it can be related to trauma even within relationships, like interpersonal relationships, or even an experience where you couldn't count with on people growing up, or even count on people on your relationships right now, and that's kind of transferring into your work. So I want to invite you to really start looking at that. How is this affecting you, so that you can actually get to a place. I mean, you're getting there. So this is one thing I want to be clear here. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get to where you are going towards, but I feel like by the time you get there, you're going to be so burned out, you're not going to even be happy about it. You're going to be so exhausted. So I want to invite you to really address that, so that when you get to that point, you can actually celebrate it and be enthusiastic about it, and celebrate that aspect of yourself. Okay. So that's what I have for you, dear Taurus. Moving on to Geminis. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. What do we have for Geminis, dear Spirit, in regards to their career and their work? What do we need to let them know? What do they need to know about their career? What are the shadows that are lurking that they don't know about that we need to support them with? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. All right, dear Gemini. So we have for Gemini Sun, we have the card. So you're coming, this is the energy that you're coming with, the Knight of Swords here. And the energy here that we're coming with is this very impatient energy, sort of like very daring. You also have some focus, some you have like a goal, like a focus that you're moving towards. You have this ambition that you're kind of moving towards when it comes down to your career. You come with that energy, right? Now, currently, what you want to pay attention to is that, yes, you are actually, because you've been focused on your goals and been very direct, and you've been really incredible, you are actually ripping you're harvesting from all the work that you've done, right? You are in this energy of success that is really good. And I see here this opportunity of leadership. This has been showing up for you, dear Geminis. Leadership has been showing up a lot for you guys. And this is the time for you to step into that leadership. But we want to be very careful on how we step into that leadership role. Okay. Because right now you are in this very decisive moment. Okay. You have the Wheel of Fortune. You are in this decisive moment where you get to decide if you're going to be the King of Wands upside down or right side up. Right now, the King of Wands is showing up upside down, meaning that you could potentially have tendencies of, as you step into this place of leadership, you could potentially be very domineering, sort of like wanting to do things your way, just twisting things your way, not wanting to just listen to those who are around you, maybe being a little forceful, maybe even feeling a little powerless. You're not connecting fully to your power, and that's the reason why you may be leaning into a more tyrannical way of leading. So I want everybody to really look at, to move away from that, right? You get to choose if you get to be that incredible big picture, controlled, focused, and bold and optimistic leader, and someone who's able to nourish those who are around you. You get to choose that, dear Gemini. And the way that you can choose that is by looking at yourself from that cosmic child perspective. So I have the cosmic child card for you, which tells me that you are invited to connect with this essence of your strength, right? Your strength comes from being in balance, being both in the positive and the negative energy, and understanding both your shadows and what are the insecure parts of yourself, accepting those, nourishing those, making sure that you're doing some inner child work, and then also looking at your light and leaning into your strengths. I feel like the moment that you see yourself in that beautiful inner power, then you won't need to assert your power outwardly. You'll be able to be in that beautiful presence of your power, coming from just being, and not coming from just projecting, right? It's just like just being in your energy. That in itself is power, and people can feel that. So I want to invite you to really reflect on that. What type of leader do you want to be at the workplace, right? So that's what I have for you, dear Gemini. It's interesting enough, because I don't know if y'all know, but our president of the United States, he's actually a Gemini. So this is, it almost feels like I did a reading for him right now. I don't know if y'all know this, but he is a Gemini. I did look into that because I'm weird like that. I look at people's like signs. Like, ooh, what is their sign? I've always been like that though. That was always my thing. Okay. Cancer. All right, dear spirit. So we have the messages for Cancer. What are the shadows that are lurking for Cancers that they need to know about their career? Thank you. Okay, thank you. That's another message here. Thank you, spirit. Thank you. Beautiful Cancers, we have the Ten of Cups upside down, the Two of Swords upside down, the Queen of Wands upside down, the Emperor right side up, and the heart opening card for you, okay? Dear Cancers, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. Okay, I'm looking at this right here. Okay, dear Cancers. So I see here there's a little bit. So you're coming in with some energies that are outside of your job, outside of your career, that are affecting your career, which has to do with the home. So the home front right now is sort of like bringing a little bit of negativity or infusing a little bit of negativity into your career because of the unhappy home right now. You potentially are not feeling so optimistic about your career right now. You may be feeling a little anxious or feeling like you have no choice to be where you're at now, and you're kind of like in this place of feeling a little vulnerable when it comes down to your situation in general. So this is kind of interesting because this is kind of like home and career, right? Like we're gonna look at here together. And so what I want to invite you to do is first of all understand. First of all, we want to accept what's happening. And the first thing that a heart the came up was the heart opening for you, right? And the Emperor card, which this goes in conjunction with the Two of Swords. So what that tells me, dear Cancer, is that you are being reminded by spirit that you have the ability to bring back structure and bring back focus and discipline into your life. You may need to start doing this first in the home front so that you can feel more secure, right? More rooted so that you can move into your career and focusing on your career a little bit more. But it feels like the home front is a little bit out of focus right now. It's a little bit unstable ground. So right now you really want to focus on getting that together so that you can feel again more stable at your job. There's also this feeling of being overwhelmed. Like I feel like there's this yeah, being overwhelmed by work and life, like trying to find work and life balance. Like that's what I'm seeing there. And like energetically there's like so much energetic information that you're trying to process right now. Like you're kind of like you're just basically overwhelmed. So it's a good idea to maybe take a step back right now, dear Cancer, and ground. You definitely want to, lean into all of your practices, all of your tools, anything that you can do to get yourself grounded so that you can move through these energies that are moving through you. But the first thing that you need to do is to open your heart. You want to open your heart and ground into how can you open your heart to this process. What is it that you're learning in this process, and how can you bring more compassionate expression into your experience right now. You're also if you don't resolve this, okay, if you don't resolve this part of like the home front, that eventually will resolve the situation in your workplace, because again you're not very grounded at the workplace. If this doesn't resolve, we have the Queen of Wands coming up, which that means that you're gonna have this essence of becoming very demanding, becoming someone who's just sort of like in this bitterness. You're going to have this lack of confidence because everything is kind of falling apart, and I don't want you to get to that point, right? Because we're going to go ahead and read this right side up, and I'm going to remind you that you have the capacity to be confident, the capacity to stay present and determined to resolve. You have the fire that you need to resolve the issues that you have. You have the ability to stay optimistic, right? And you have that ability, right? Because we have that also, the Emperor card reminding you of that you have that authority to make changes, right, into a positive place. But again, if this doesn't get resolved, then everything is just going to get very muddy and very messy for you. So I want to invite you to really take the time to take a breather, take a moment to recognize what's happening at home, take a moment to find ways to find solutions at the home front so that your work life can become more bearable. Okay, that's what I have for you, dear Cancer. Leos. We have our Leos, our beautiful Leos. Beautiful Leos. Leo sun sign. This is for career messages. Spirits, thank you for the messages so far. Would like to receive messages for Leo. What is lurking in the shadows that my Leos don't know about at this time? What is lurking in the shadows? Here, let me just make sure that I put these back in here. Thank you, Spirit. What is lurking in the shadows that my Leos don't know about? Thank you. Thank you. Okay. What's the message for them? Thank you. All right, so we have Leo. So for Leos, we have you're coming in with this perspective of the Seven of Cups, which is for, and specifically for you, I see this, you have this vision, right? You have this vision about what your career should look like, what you want, what you're wishing at this time. You're daydreaming about where you would like to be, and you may not be very sure about where you're going at this time. I do see this card of I have the card of ancestors, Queen of Wands, and the Hermit upside down, as well as the Two of Wands upside down for you, dear Leo. And it seems to me that part of the reason why you are unsure about what is happening or where you're going is because there's some ancestral work that you may need to do at this time. So you may have certain programming that was inserted right into you as you were growing up, or even just at the DNA level, where you may be doing something differently right now than what you really are wishing to do, because your soul is calling you one direction, but then your roots and your ancestors have done things in a certain way for so many centuries, so many eons, that you're kind of like an autopilot. So what I want to invite you to do is to, and then also the other part of it is that knowing that because of that, you feel sort of like the, I don't want to say like it's not the black sheep of the family, but sort of like, okay, what I want to do is so different than what my family has taught me that I should be doing, or what I it's just so out there, right? Your vision, that you're almost feeling like it's not even possible because it's not something that's been part of the reality of your family tree and those that surround you. So then in turn it makes you feel kind of lonely and unsupported, right? So you're being invited to really connect to your passions, to connect to that determination to be expressed, to have these dreams and these aspirations about your career. It feels like it's a shift, right? Like, it's to me, like when I see this reading, it's more about like shifting the status quo, shifting the way that things have been and moving into the status quo. And so spirit, moving away from the status quo, sorry. And so spirit, what is trying to tell me here with this card, especially with the Queen of Wands, is that it wants to remind you of your confidence, right? Of being assured of yourself, of being confident of the things where you're heading towards, and don't let the programming that you were born into determine where you're supposed to go, right? You get to determine with your visions where you're supposed to go. Okay. The other thing that I see here is that you may have some trouble because of all this mess in regards to how you were programmed and how you feel lonely and feeling like you can't, you're kind of confused, and not necessarily confused, but feeling like you don't have it, like it doesn't make sense, right? Like you're like, okay, this doesn't make sense, I don't fit in, right? This may in turn into kind of over analyzing things, maybe not taking any actions because we have the Two of Wands, right? Moving on there. And so you may be looking at like, oh, you're looking at this possibility, but then you're not taking action because you're like, well, my reality is different. So why should I take any action? And I want to tell you, dear Leo, you want to step away from that and you want to start planning. Like you may have done certain things towards these goals that were not planned well. And then because they didn't go well, then you're like, okay, well, it wasn't for me. I want to just invite you to give yourself permission to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, what can I do better from what I did before? And then take different actions, right? Just because something didn't go well or didn't wasn't planned well doesn't mean that it wasn't for you. It was just part of the journey of learning. So don't stop just because something didn't go well the first try. Okay, you may be avoiding risks right now and you're maybe afraid of doing what you want to do because it's too risky for you. It doesn't make any sense. Anyone around me, they might not support me. You might be surprised. You might be surprised that those around you might support you more than you can even imagine. So yeah, that's what I have for you, dear Leo. So get to planning, those visions, make them happen. Make those visions happen, dear Leo. Okay, we got Virgo. That's your sun sign, but if that fully resonates, good. Take it, girl. If it resonates, take it. It's yours. Okay, so let's see. Virgo. What's happening to our Virgos right now, dear Spirit? What are the shadows that are looking for dear Virgos? In regards to their career. Thank you, Spirit. In regards to their career. Thank you, Spirit. In regards to their career. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, well, we're going to honor both since Spirit threw two cards here. Okay, so let's take a look here because I have so many cards. Okay. All right, I'll need a little space here. Okay. All right, so the first card that came up for you, dear Virgo, is the card of Page of Wands upside down. And when I see this card, this is the energy that you're coming with, right? Like the things that you may not know about. So like you've been feeling a little bit impatient, maybe maybe feeling a little bit of just like bored or feeling like your creative ideas are kind of lacking right now when it comes down to your career. And like what are the things, feeling like things are not, they're kind of stale. Like that's how I feel. This card wants to come into awareness. There's also been a lot of distraction. You may be feeling like you're all over the place, maybe feeling like you are divided in different directions. At the same time, feeling that I also feel like there's sort of like this overwhelm as well that is coming from this card. Then when I see this combining with what the message is for you right now, which is the Four of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, these are the cards for you specifically right now. You are being invited to bring some change. Okay. If you want things to turn around for you and to feel like they're like this lack of like joy of life, right, that you've been experiencing, you want to start weaving in a little bit of change, right? Part of it is because you've been feeling a little bit unwelcomed or unstable in regards to where you are right now. The workplace may not feel as good for you. I also feel like the social aspect of it is not very engaging. It feels sort of like isolating in a way. So I want to invite you to really connect with this experience and notice how can you move into a place of even changing careers or changing your job place or changing departments or whatever that is, even though right now you don't feel it. You may not even feel it. You may feel like almost like, oh, what's the point? That's sort of like that energy that I feel here. Like giving up, right? Like that's sort of like what I'm feeling. But the message here for you is very different. It's not about giving up. It's about bringing change. And also we have the card of the journey and the ceremony card. That tells me here, when I see this in combination with the Wheel of Fortune card and the Four of Wands right upside down, what this tells me is that you right now are being tested. And are you going to take this journey seriously? Are you going to take this journey of practicing your trade in this lifetime seriously? You may need to take the time right now to invite a little bit of sacred space and ceremony to reconnect with what is it that brings you spark. Connect to your fire, right? The fire element is very present here in this reading. So how can you reignite your fire? How can you reignite your passion again? How can you let go of that just like boring energy, right? And you may need to just take this time to maybe this weekend to take time out and reconfigure yourself, right? Reconcile with where you want to go and where you are now, and even sit with those uncomfortable emotions that you may be holding on to that are related to feeling bored or dissatisfied with your career. Now, when you do this, right, when you do this, then you'll be able to let go of any aspects of yourself, right? Because it seems to me that there's a little bit of procrastination with taking action at this time, or you've been feeling so impatient that you're like, well, what's the point of me doing this? I'm not going to do it, right? And so I want to invite you to really give yourself permission to take the time. Because if you continue this direction, then you're not going to grow in the way that you desire. If you continue in this direction where you are now and the way you're feeling about your career and the way you're feeling, if you're not igniting your passion and your enthusiasm and your happiness, we were just talking about that today with the meditation, before the meditation, then you are going to see lack of growth. You're not going to see the results that you're wishing to see, because again, you're not putting in that energy. So you may want to look at the environment. How is my environment supporting me? Is this environment supporting my ability to grow? Do I need to remove myself from this environment and move into a place where I feel like I am supported and I can bring some change, right? You're also being guided to remember that you may have some setbacks as you do this, but this is part of the journey, right? The reminder here is that your journey is not going to be smooth all the way. There's going to be some bumps on the road, and they're meant to be, right? And even if they're not meant to be, right, we can just pray and ask spirit, hey, please make sure that you remove any bumps on the road, any obstacles that may present for me, and only bring in the lessons that I know that I can handle, that you know that I can handle, right? Or spirit or my higher self knows that I can handle. And you can do that prayer. You can do that prayer every day. Every day you take that action. Every day you bring yourself into doing the things that you need to do towards your career that are going to bring fulfillment. You can make that prayer every day and see how things start changing. But they're not going to change if you're not taking any action towards the things that again bring you passion and joy. Okay, so that's what I have for you, dear Virgos. Moving on to the next one is Libra. Thank you, Spirit, for the opportunity to do the readings for the collective today for Libra. It's Libra career. So what are the shadows that are lurking for Libras here? Thank you, Spirit. All right, dear Libra, we have for you, we have the Five of Pentacles upside down, Eight of Pentacles upside down, Eight of Wands upside down. We have the Emperor card, and we have the Moon card for you. Okay, this is for Libra, Libra suns, Libra sun signs. Okay, Libra, you may be in this place of recovery. You may be recovering from certain from certain situations, from certain loss, maybe loss of a job. And right now you're kind of moving into recovering. However, at this time, and I'm gonna get confirmation here. So, Spirit, is this in regards to the current job? Okay. So the current job that you moved into doesn't feel like it's truly aligned or fully aligned for you, dear Libra. You may be feeling like it's just like you were rushed into this specific job, and it feels sort of like a dead end place. Like it doesn't feel like you have opportunity to grow there. And you are someone, dear Libra, who, with the Emperor card, it tells me that you're someone who is meant to be in this place of authority or leadership. And this specific job doesn't give you that opportunity, and that may be the reason why you may feeling like it's a dead end. So what you are being guided to do is to recognize that this is just part of the cycle that you're in, dear Libra. This is just a temporary thing. This is not meant to be a forever place for you to stay in. And so keep that in mind. I also see here, dear Libra, that you're kind of waiting, right? You're sort of like in this waiting mode. That's sort of like where you're going towards. And so what I want to invite you to do is to recognize that you're not losing momentum. You're sort of going through this transition. Again, with the energy of the card of the moon, this is just a transitional stage. So I want to kind of bring forth the awareness, and I'm going to turn around this card of the Eight of Wands and recognize that the movement and progress that you are looking towards is going to be part of that journey as well. So we can read this upside down and say, well, you're going to be stalled forever. No, that's not where you're going. But you may be in the near future just a little stalled for a little bit. That doesn't mean that you're not going to move out of that cycle into the new cycle of movement and progress, and the ability to magnetize the opportunities that are actually going to give you the, let's say, the title or the position that's actually aligned with you. Okay, so hang tight. This is temporary. Don't fret. Eventually you'll get to where you need to be. Okay, and that's what I have for you, dear Libra. All right, so moving on to Scorpios. Thank you, Spirit. Today I'm doing the readings a little slower, but I wanted to take my time and not rush. And I'm using more cards now because I felt like it was important. Okay. Especially when it comes to career. Okay, so in regards to career, okay, I see some messages here. You're welcome, Nicole. I'm so glad that you're getting so much value from these readings. For Scorpio, what is lurking in the shadows for Scorpio in regards to their career? Thank you. What is lurking in the shadows for Scorpio in regards to their career? Wow. Wow, Scorpio. Okay. Show me. What's lurking in the shadows for Scorpios? What do we need to know? What do we need to know? Thank you. Well, that's powerful. Okay, dear Scorpio, we have the Seven of Swords right side up. We have the Ace of Pentacles right side up. The Two of Pentacles right side up. We got the Hierophant upside down and grandmother water for you, dear Scorpio. Dear Scorpio, in regards to your career, okay, so what I see here is you have been very resourceful. Okay, you've been very strategic in regards to your career. Okay, there may be a little bit of secrecy, which I'm not surprised because you're very, very, very secretive, dear Scorpio. So there's been a little bit of secrecy on how you've got to where you've been. You've been very quiet in regards to how to get to where you need to be, which is perfectly fine. And this has brought new opportunities. You're right now in this place of new opportunities that opened up. You have this prosperity, this security, stability. There's this like open manifested opportunity that came on your lap thanks to that strategic aspect of the past self, right? The past self that you've been. So right now you're being invited to really allow yourself to be receptive to receive this new opportunity to if you are not already in this job, but or that you are in the process of starting the new job, you want to start connecting to the essence of receptivity, and being in that emotional flow, that intuitive guidance that water brings in, right, is what's going to be your superpower that you're going to be performing or you are already performing at the job, right? Now, you may be bringing a little bit of new ways of doing things at your job. You may bring a little bit of shift and new ways of thinking, and this is going to break a lot of patterns in your specific job, right? Like there may be a little bit of ruffled feathers here and there, but just remember that that's what you're meant to do. You're meant to go there to break things up in the sense of change the ways of doing things and make them better. That's what you're meant to be doing. So give yourself permission to step into that role of being the one who doesn't conform to the ways that are part of the processes or projects or whatever it is that you're doing at your job or your career. So that's what you're meant to be doing. That's like literally the skill set, the reason why you either got hired or you're being considered to be hired for this new opportunity. Now, the other thing that I'm seeing here is that you are invited to recognize that as you move into this new project, this new job, this new opportunity, you want to make sure that you're not overdoing any resources. That as you move into this change and you're bringing change into the new company or the new client, I want to invite you to really look at all of the resources that they have and try to make sure that everything is in balance, because that's going to be part of the challenge here, is that how can you make changes and at the same time make sure that budgets are aligned, that there's no like overspending and that type of stuff. Like you want to make sure that you're bringing a little bit of flexibility. So it's interesting because the word flexibility is coming up in two cards, on the card of the water and also the card of the Two of Pentacles. So this is where you get to shine. It's like where you get to say, okay, I'm not gonna just do this just because this is what I want. I'm gonna allow myself to be flexible so that I can so that it can be for the greater good of everyone, of yourself and everyone around you. Okay, so this seems to be a very good opportunity. Just be mindful of making sure that you continue to be strategic, make sure that you can communicate what you're doing, and make sure that you are adapting your ways, your vision and or the perspective that you're bringing. Make sure you adapt it into what's already been established so that it can be balanced, and then be sure to be mindful of any overspending as well. Okay, so that's what I have for you, dear Scorpios. We're going to go into Sagittarius. Beautiful Sagittarius. Let's see what Spirit has for you in regards to your career. Spirit, what are the messages for Sagittarius in regards to their career? What is lurking in the shadows that they need to know about? What do they need to know about the careers? Thank you, Spirit. Show me what else do we need to know here. Thank you, Spirit. What messages do we need to know here? Thank you. Okay, so we have Sagittarius. Sagittarius, we have the Seven of Wands right side up for you. We have the Knight of Wands right side up for you. We have the Ace of Wands right side up for you. Lots of fire for you, dear beautiful Sagittarius. I'm not surprised. And we also have Strength card, also another fire card. Lots of fire today. Strength card is upside down. We have the Honoring card for you. So lots of fire today. Of course, I'm not surprised because hello, you are a fire sign. Okay, so dear Sagittarius, what I see here is that you've been having to connect a lot with the sense of defending and standing up for yourself. You'll be having to stand up for yourself to defend your points of view, almost like becoming very territorial about your, let's say, your department or what you're meant to be doing. There could be someone else kind of like inserting themselves in what you're doing, and that's just becoming very difficult for you to manage. So you've been having to really step into that place, but you're being invited to continue to persevere with what you're doing because you're doing the right thing, right? Continue to present yourself in that from that place of no, you know what you're doing, so you don't need someone else to come in and to tell you what to do, right? Like you already know what you're doing, so continue to stand in your truth with that sense. Okay, now what I see here as well for you, dear Sagittarius, is that you are being invited to see yourself from a place of courage, right? You may be a little bit hot-tempered sometimes, and maybe part of it because of course you've been dealing with someone who's been like kind of like pushing their boundaries, and you want to really stand in your own courageous energy, right? Because this person has been standing into and trying to impose their ways of doing things onto your work. You've been kind of feeling like low confidence lately, or you've been feeling like you're been doubting yourself. And I want to invite you to don't doubt yourself. You're doing the right thing. Stand in your truth. Continue to stand in your truth. Honor thy path, right? You have the honoring card. Honor thy path. You know what you're doing. Give yourself permission to see yourself in that light, okay? I also see here the Ace of Wands for you, dear Sagittarius, which that tells me right now that you are someone who is bringing a lot of creative spark to your workplace. You have a lot of initiative. You have this beautiful enthusiasm. And when you continue to stand in your truth and continue to assert your boundaries and to say, hey, I know what I'm doing. Let me do my job, right? You will kind of ignite this opportunity for yourself to start new projects, to start a new to actually ignite a new passion within your workplace. So that's going to be something that's going to be very powerful for you, dear Sagittarius. So that is what I have for you. Moving on to Capricorns. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit, for Capricorns, what is the message in regards to their career? Thank you, Spirit. Spirit, please give me clear messages in regards to the career for Capricorn. Capricorn sons. What's the message in regards to their career? What is lurking in the shadows that they don't know about? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, for you, dear Capricorn, we have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands upside down. We have the Queen of Cups right side up, the Two of Pentacles right side up, as well as the World upside down, and the Cosmic Mother card. Okay, so when I see this, dear Capricorn, I see that you've been dealing with lack of support when it comes down to your job. You may be feeling like you don't like there's been a little bit of conflict, or maybe you don't feel as stable, you don't feel as rooted at your job. And you're being invited to bring a little bit more compassion for yourself, bring a little bit of more kindness and healing, maybe even seek some support, even counseling, because there seems to be some issues in regards to your home life in the past that may be expressed into your job as well. They're kind of infusing into it. And when I say home life, I'm talking about like even childhood or situation with parents, because we have the cosmic mother here. There could be potentially issues with mother that are related to the way that you relate to your job. Okay. You are dealing with a little bit of lack of closure and feeling like you haven't been able to achieve what you want to achieve. Part of the reason why is because you're feeling this emptiness, this feeling incomplete. This is the reason why, again, is because you have some cycles to shift with your mother. Okay. So I want anybody to really look at that and pay attention to how you can rebalance yourself. Okay. Bring a little bit of balance. And if you don't do this, right? Like if you don't do this, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to move forward, but it does mean that you're going to need to kind of juggle a little bit between your own experience with, again, lack of closure with certain situations in respect to mother or parents, right? And how that shows up in your everyday life. Like it seems to me like there's something there it's just blocking and just needs to be addressed so you don't have to continue juggling between this aspect of yourself that's big and very overwhelming, that's related to how you related to work, and what you saw, what work represented for you and your family growing up, and how that projects into your current life, and how you can move into a place of, hey, you know what, maybe this is not the way that we need to do things anymore, right? Like maybe this was just what happened with my family at the time, and I can express it a little differently. But you may need to reach out for support and counseling when it comes down to moving through that, and bringing your bringing yourself back to balance. You may be feeling right now like you have to stretch your resources because of the fact that you haven't been able to feel successful at your job, or even like income not being as fluid as you wish it was. And so take the time to just find, again, a way to balance yourself emotionally, physically, spiritually, so that you can bring yourself into healing these aspects of yourself. So you may not be able to do everything at once, because again, you may be stretching yourself thin. So just take the time, just do it when you can, right? But just know that that's present, and that's the reason why things are going. Doesn't mean that you're not going to move forward. I don't see you not moving forward, but I do see you moving forward a little slower than what you expected and what you feel or you felt like where you weren't going to go. Okay. And that's okay. That's okay. Okay. So that's what I have for you, dear Capricorn. We're moving on to Aquarius. A beautiful Aquarius. Beautiful Aquarius. What do we have for Aquarius? All right, Spirit, thank you for supporting these souls with these messages. Spirit, I would like to know, what is the message for Aquarius in regards to career? What is lurking in the shadows that they need to know about? What is lurking in the shadows that they need to know about? Thank you, Spirit. What is lurking in the shadows that Aquarius needs to know about? Thank you, Spirit. Dear Aquarius, we have the Knight of Cups. We have someone here who's very artistic. You have this ability to be so creative and expressive in the way that you show up in the world, specifically with your career and your job. So you might, if you haven't considered artistic pursuits, or ways to have emotional expression in your work, then you may want to start considering weaving that in, because that's part of the energy that you are coming with. Now, I see here that you may be dealing with a little bit more clarity in regards to where you are in the workplace. You may be feeling a little motivated. You may be feeling this you may have been dealing with a lack of motivation, and now you're finding your motivation. You're finding this clarity of how you get to choose your path moving forward. I see here the card of Judgment, okay, which that tells me that, in conjunction with the Grandmother Earth card, this tells me that you're kind of grounding yourself into what your reality is now, and you are in this place of renewal and allowing yourself to see yourself from this beautiful open space. You kind of are coming out, right, of this cycle that you've been of just feeling sad or dissatisfied with your work, and you're kind of going out of being in this deep reflective state. You're kind of coming out of this feeling grounded and in acceptance of what is right now. Now, you may have been dealing, or you may be dealing right now with a little bit of conflict and stress when it comes down to your workplace. So pay attention to that. Make sure that you give yourself permission to move through that with ease. Remember that you don't want that. You don't want these conflicts to expand and take away that beautiful energy that you are in right now, which is this energy of acceptance. Now, to clarify this card of conflict, I wanted to also mention that in regards to this conflict, it has to do with maybe new ideas that you're gonna bring to the table, okay? Because you're coming in with this creative energy that I see here from the Knight of Cups. I see here that with the Page of Wands, you are part of the reason why you may feel a little bit of conflict, or there might be a little bit of argument, is in regards to the fresh ideas and the fresh energy you're going to bring into the table. So don't get discouraged, dear Aquarius. Just remember that that this energy that you're in is where you're meant to be. So this is a very good opportunity for you to just anchor yourself in your creativity and bring those visions forward. This looks very exciting. And yes, like I said, there may be a little bit of conflict. It's not really conflict. It's just like pushback or resistance. But just know that just you want to respond to that resistance by continue to show up the continue to show the benefits of these creative ideas that you're bringing in, and I'm telling you that's going to move you forward. Okay, so this is good. Okay, moving forward with Pisces. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Thank you, Spirit. Last but not least, my beautiful Pisces, what messages do we have for you in regards to your career? Let's take a look. All right. Thank you, Spirit. What messages do we have here for Pisces in regards to their career? What is lurking in the shadows that Pisces doesn't know about in regards to their career? Thank you, Spirit. Beautiful. All right, dear Pisces, we have the Knight of Swords upside down, the Four of Pentacles right side up, the Three of Cups right side up, as well as the Empress right side up for you, dear Pisces. And what I see here for you as well from the Spiritual Assignment is a card of alchemy for you, dear Pisces. Okay, so the first thing that I see here in regards to your the message here. So with the Knight of Swords, we have this very controlling energy that you may be dealing with, right? You may have dealt with a very just dishonest and ruthless experience, or maybe like I feel like, is this someone who they work for, or is this them? So this is someone that you worked for in the past. You may have had a very irrational person as the leader, or someone who was in leadership before. And this might be a little bit of it may be lurking in the shadows in regards to how you feel about yourself right now at your job. You may be feeling a little bit of insecurity. You may be hoarding opportunities for yourself because because of this experience in the past. And this card of alchemy is inviting you, and the card of the Empress, these are actually inviting you to really start alchemizing, to start shifting the experience or the awareness of this experience in the past with this past boss, because these are what you call the boss, this past leader, to start looking at that experience as an opportunity of what not to do. And don't get yourself caught up in a place of lack, because I feel like this person sort of created a lot of like lack mentality, like not necessarily lack, but like very competitive, very like just unwelcoming, not collaborative at all. It was just very just like just competitive, and like creating this like us against them type of energy. And that has created sort of like a subconscious aspect of yourself where you hoard certain opportunities or certain tasks for yourself so that you can have a little bit more control. It's almost like a control thing. So I want to invite you to really let go of that, because you are this divine abundant being who's capable of sharing from the overflow, right? So share the opportunities, share that, because what that's going to have, what that's going to do for you, dear Pisces, is that's going to build the community that you crave, the community that you knew back then when you were working for this other person, the community and the collaboration that you knew back then that was available. It's going to be expressed through you. So you want to make sure that you let go of any fears and insecurities that may have happened because of this experience. Remember, people like this are not truly leaders. They're just people who are just hurting others, right? And so you want to make sure that you connect with that. You want to make sure that you connect with that perspective and that experience. How can you find the silver lining, right, in that experience that you had with this very just unsavory person, the unsavory leader that you had to um be part of, work with in the past. And so my invitation to you is to think about how you would like your work experience to be and where it is now, and how can you collaborate with others by letting go of some of the things that you're holding on to and allowing yourself to be in the experience of community at your job. Okay, you got this. I know that you have a big heart, and so you got this. You're able to overcome this. All right, so I'm gonna end it here. I want to thank everyone for being here today. We took almost 2 hours, actually 2 hours on the dot. Oh my gosh, I took a long time today to do readings, but it's okay. So I want to invite you to go to the bloominglotushealing.com to book a session if you want a one-on-one session with me. And I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel and share and like this video. Share and like this video. The more you interact with this video, the more I am able to go live. So I'm not going to be going live forever, y'all. So this is going to be for 30 days only. So today we're on day 19. So continue to come, continue to interact. Based on how things go on these lives, that's how I will. So if people are, if I'm just talking to a wall, then why am I showing up, right? So, but if I'm talking with people and your guys are showing up, whether it is live or on the replay, then I will continue to show up. Okay. So I love you all. I hope that you have a wonderful day. And last but not least, please make sure that you go to my new channel, the Akashic Records channel, to receive support, meditation support. We have some meditation music, we have some clearings there, we have all the good stuff there. So make sure you go there and support, subscribe to the channel, like, share the videos, also like and share these videos, this one specifically as well, where you're at now, so that YouTube knows that it's good, that people are liking it, and so it continues to show it to other people. So anyway, I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy Wednesday, happy Mercury Day, and I will see you tomorrow for Thursday, Jupiter's Day. Love you all.